Welcome, Power fans. We have just got another episode 208, Dead Reckoning, A Power Force, Season 2. And look at the developments that we have here. Diamond, I think, has finally fully transitioned back to the dark side. He was flirting with, becoming a civilian a little bit. You saw what was going on with Diana and her son Leon. That was kind of the one thing that was leading him out of the drug world, so to speak. And that's where his loyalties were divided. And, Tommy was pressing him about, look, we need to get to these meetings. We need to resolve these issues and build up the coalition. And you saw Diamond was kind of not really with it, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But that's out the picture now. He finally got that annoying probation officer out the paint with one slash of the razor. He's done. And we saw by the look on Tommy's face, he realizes that now he has someone that's fully locked in. I think he has the same mentality that Tommy has now. Tommy has no qualms about what he is. I'm a drug dealer. I sell drugs. I kill people. That's what I do better than anyone. And we saw Diamond was saying that to himself while he was drunk, but he was kind of saying it as kind of a woe is me thing. But I think now that look in the mirror that you see, all that's done now. And he's completely focused and he's going to be like the Terminator. So, what does that mean for the rest of their enemies and their allies? I think number one, the Serbs might be in trouble because this type of diamond with this mentality after them, they might not be in the picture for too long. That's number one. Number two, I think also that we're going to see what's going to happen with Gennard. That's what I'm not sure about. Is he going to trust his brother a little bit more, or is he going to be even more kind of standoffish with him? That's what I'm not sure about, especially with Gennard and Shanti's situation going on, the backdooring that they plan to do in the future against Tommy. We're going to see where Diamond's going to be with that. But I think finally we have a locked in character now. We have both Tommy and Diamond on the same page, and with them together, I think they're pretty much indestructible. So as far as who I think, trying to get some predictions about the season finale, who's not going to make it, I think Miguel is going to be out of here. I think with Diamond and Tommy building this coalition, Miguel is already not happy about that, especially when Tommy crashed the age coronation thing with the Estrada cartel leader. Miguel is already feeling jealous because he knows Tommy is really just building allies around him, things he couldn't do after years in the game. So he knows eventually Tommy's going to come for him, but he can't move against Tommy because Tommy now has the head of the Estrada cartels here. So I think Miguel is going to try and do something sneaky to try and get Tommy out the paint, but Diamond's going to be able to catch it or get wind of it, and together they're going to take Miguel out probably by the season finale. Now, where does that leave Maria? Maria is already kind of teetering. When she first left Tommy after that big argument, she said, I need time to think about things. I really didn't think she's going anywhere. She just, when a woman kind of says that in a lot of cases, you're still kind of in there. You haven't completely messed up yet. But when Stacey Marks came there to Maria's house, put that information on Lakeisha Grant, now things are going to get interesting. I don't know if Maria is going to be able to do her own digging to find out what happened. Tommy did tell her point blank, I'm not going to tell you any lies. So is he going to admit what happened to Lakeisha? And at that point, we'll see if Maria is really going to stick around, with that going forward. One other thing she said was interesting. I know in my previous recap, I talked about her relationship with her brother was really creepy, almost like Tony Montana and his sister, how they were. And she even mentioned that if he finds out about us, when she had the argument with Tommy, he's going to kill both of us, is what she said. That really stood out to me because as wild as he was, talking about Miguel, I never really thought he would put his hands on Maria. I think he would just go strictly after Tommy. But to hear her say it, that he would actually kill her as well, that's kind of wild. So we'll have to see where that goes. But I think Miguel is out of here. We're looking for who's not going to make it past the season finale. He's number one on my list. He's kind of the odd man out at this case. We're going to move to a storyline with Tommy taking over Chicago and dealing with the cartel directly. Then that means Miguel has to go. Hell, maybe he might even get his right hand man, the bald head dude that Miguel's mom told him to keep an eye on. Maybe Tommy gets him in the fold, and that's how they betray Miguel and get him out of here. So that's something to keep an eye on. Next person that is really kind of all over the place to me is Vic. He's now killed a cop. He's trying to get other people pinned into it, trying to get the distrust growing, but nothing is working. He initially tried to put Tommy on Jannard. Jannard got out of it. He also mentioned his sister Claudia. You know, Tommy's not really too focused on her at this point. And now, according to his lawyer, Tommy knows that there's a snitch in the camp. So I'm like, to me, it's obvious that it would be Vic. I think the one thing that's saving him is that Tommy did see him kill a cop, so he might be hesitant to think that Vic would do something like that. But who else is left? It seems like he does trust Jannard now because Jannard saved his life. Will he suspect Shanti maybe? But she's not really completely in the organization yet, so I'm not even really buying that either. He completely trusts Diamond now. So to me, that leaves Vic the odd person out. So the second person I think might not make it to the season finale is Vic. I think he's just really out there at this point, and he's not really that compelling. Initially we were kind of waiting to see if he can achieve his dream of getting out of the game like he wanted us to do for Gloria, but he really has nothing tying him to the plot, so to speak. Him and the sister are at odds. So I think he might be out of here too. Now, as far as Shanti and Claudia, that's a nice little storyline building, even though they don't completely trust each other. I want to see if Shanti is too smart for her own good. She thinks she can outmaneuver everybody, and that's normally how you end up getting got. We saw Stringer Bell in the Wire. Shanti is kind of just doing a little too much wheeling and dealing, thinking she can outsmart everyone. I'm wondering if she's going to get tripped up. So, but I don't think Shanti is going to go out by the finale. I think what they're building with her and Claudia and the Serbs, actually, I think that can build a little bit longer. However, we need to keep in mind that the Serbs only have an agreement with Claudia. They really don't have any interaction with Shanti. So as push comes to shove, you know, Claudia would definitely give up Shanti if need be, because the Serbs are her protection, and the Serbs are getting a little bit desperate at this point. So they want as much territory and this product as they can get. That's why they're encroaching so much on what Claudia is trying to do, because they've been cut off by the main supply, by the Strata cartel. So that means if they get any pushback from Shanti, I can see the Serbs, moving on her. So something else to keep in mind. Um, this whole thing with Stacy and Bobby, the police, this scene right here kind of stuck with me a little bit. When I've seen this look before in Power, it means somebody is up to something behind the scenes. Now, initially when Bobby came on the scene, I didn't get any inklings that he may be corrupt or anything like that. But the way he looked after what, Stacey said, I'm gonna go shake some trees and see what I can do to get information on Vargas's death. He looked like he's up to something. I don't necessarily think they're going to go with the whole idea of Bobby like secretly working for the cartel or something. They've done that before in the original Power, so I don't think they'll go down that route again. But maybe he has ambitions to get in Stacy's position as the U.S. attorney, assistant attorney. So maybe he starts feeding information to Stacy's boss. Because remember, Stacy's boss told her that you mess up again or don't get me some information, you're going to be fired. You're going to be looking for another job. So maybe Bobby is seeing this as his opportunity to move up the food chain if Stacy keeps, being so gung ho and taking everything personal and not going by the book. Maybe, Bobby's seeing his opportunity. So that's kind of what I got from the little look on his face. So I'm going to keep an eye on Bobby to see if we get a portrayal from him in the season finale in about 2 weeks. Um, that kind of covers everything. It was an interesting episode. I'm glad they finally got rid of the PO, that storyline. Oh, Gianna. I gotta touch on her for a second. What was she thinking when she gave that little speech about, this is fun with me and you were doing, but I can't have you being a negative image on my son. I'm like, you just said that the man is a drug lord. You got him up in the house, you got him going around with your son. You actually have him taking your son out, in the evening time. What were you thinking? So obviously that became a disaster with Leon getting killed. So we're going to see where that goes. I think we're not going to see Gianna anymore, but this is all on her. She didn't have any business having that man anywhere near her son. Now, his actual father, Leon's father, was not any was actually worse than Diamond, but this is just a mess up situation. So as far as Diamond wanting to get revenge, I'm kind of thinking that those two that went after Leon, maybe they're attached to somebody. This whole idea of, putting all the beasts to rest and building a coalition. I want to see if those two kids that killed Leon are affiliated with anyone. So just keep that in mind and see where that goes. But that's all for episode 208. It was kind of a brisk episode, nothing too deep, hit a couple plot points. Also, we can't forget about, just remember, JP and Kate. JP telling Kate that DMAC is still alive. So that means probably that DMAC is going to be crashing the season finale in some form or fashion. I don't know what he's going to end up doing. Is he going to end up catching another body? Probably, but in what context, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be him saving Tommy again, or are they going to be bold enough to finally kill him if he comes back into Chicago in the situation that he doesn't have any business in? Is that going to lead to his death? And then a whole nother rift will open up between Kate, JP, and Tommy. So, but I don't know where that's really going. I just know that DMAC is probably going to be back by the finale in town, complicating things. So let me know what you think of this episode of Power. Who do you think is next to fall as far as, the death lottery? Who do you think is next going to get killed? Do you think we get any killings in the next episode, or do you think everything is going to lead to the finale in 2 weeks? All right, so thank you for tuning in. Just to let you know, as we've been covering all these Power episodes every week. So make sure to come back here after the episode airs on midnight on Friday. So around about 1 a.m., you'll see this go up and you can check the recap and make sure you like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next week.